Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55. It's the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Redshire Encounter, and it's under the command of Clean Sweeper Marksman. Now that's definitely the M55, and the reason I know that is it's a short fat barrel that doesn't extend over the front of the vehicle. If it was a long thin barrel, that would be the M53 with a 155mm howitzer, or I should say 155mm gun, but this is the 8-inch howitzer mounted on the same hull that was used for an M47. Yes, because basically this is a heavy tank driving in reverse with the engine in front of the howitzer turret. Okay, he's waiting for some enemy to turn up the other side. They built the prototype in 1952. It did see service in Vietnam, but didn't see service in the Korean War because it was just a little too late. They started using them in 1952 until 1960 in total. But they did have them in Vietnam. They had a crew of 6, and they were used by the USA, by Belgium, Turkey, Spain. Narrowly missed the A phase 1, but he did get some stun. West Germany, Republic of China, that's Taiwan, and that's about it. It's got a very wide firing arc, which is very similar to the M44. 30 degrees either side of the centre line, so 60 degrees arc in total, and that means that it can actually aim at a wide variety of targets without having noticeable reticule bloom. He's trying to get a shot at the enemy tanks that are hiding behind that corner. There's the Emil 2, lined it up, rounds out. Well, he got some splash, 28 hit points, not a huge amount, but everything counts. Now there is an ELC Evan 90 up on the hill overlooking his area, so he needs to be careful. If he gets spotted by that ELC, he could be in trouble. But I have the feeling the ELC is more interested in what's going on in the cap area and spotting where our guys were. Okay, going to the A phase 1. That's better. Rounds out. Ah, much better shot that time. 374. It's 900 alpha. And it'll penetrate 52mm of armour, but of course he hit the side of an A phase 1 there, which is really just going to track him and do some critical hits. It's not going to penetrate fairly easily unless of course you hit a weak spot. You have to land the shell directly on top of the enemy. He's got a partially obscure reticule there, which means that there's some obstruction in the way. Rounds out. Oh! Direct hit! Yeah, that one landed right on top of him, and it wiped out the Tiger 2 for 185. That was a good shot. Looks like the algorithm said yes on that today. Absolutely. The shell landed on the thin roof armour, and there was no chance that Tiger 2 was going to escape. Okay, we're almost loaded again. Going for the Emil. Pulling back, and he gets 350 from a splash this time. Now the standard reload time is 40.27 seconds. You can clearly see Clean Sweeper Marksman's got 31.76 seconds, so he's actually not quite a few seconds off the reload time, and can really help if we could put a round on that T10, who's being a real nuisance. He's just hovering around the other side of the settlement. And another direct hit, this time it's on the Emil 2, and he gets 357. Now one of the big problems with this Arty is you don't get a whole lot of ammunition. You only get 20 rounds with the 8-inch howitzer, so you have to make best use of the rounds that you've got, otherwise you are going to be short. This is an encounter game. They are capping, and we're 2 down on the enemy at the moment. They managed to dodge that shell. Okay, they've stopped the cap because our Progetto 46 has gone into the cap, but I'm afraid he's going to have to pull out of the cap because there's a Char Future 4 around nearby. So Clean Sweeper Marksman is going to try and take out that 53 TP if he can get the chance, but change his direction. Have a look over here. I think he might have been better at going after the 53 TP, but he's now aiming for the Heshbon, who suddenly came into sight, and he's got very little armour. Now, can he get a shot? Rounds out. Looks good. It is! Oh, it's a pen! He penetrated the Heshbon. A 966, which is a high roll. So that was an incredibly good shot. It struck the turret and went straight through. And that Heshbon is now looking, well, fairly badly damaged. Now, can he do it again? Let's hope so. He could take the Heshbon out of the game with this next shot. Rounds out. Yes, he does! Excellent. That was a really dangerous opponent because he could have sat up on that hill shooting into the cap whilst our guys were trying to take the cap and stop them from winning. In the meantime, we've noticed there's a Barras coming in. He's very close, but I don't think he's seen us yet. He probably knows we're here, but he's out the game anyway. Now, it might be a good idea for Clean Sweeper to move. Instead, he's dialing in on the 60 TP who's sitting up there. We're down to just 4 teammates now. And yes, it's looking like the enemy's going to win this one, but still not all over. Rounds out the 60 TP. Splashes him for 144. He's now up to 2,700 hit points and just over 2,700. That Char Future 4 is actually fairly close, but I don't think he can actually see Clean Sweeper at all. That tree might be concealing him. Sixth Sense didn't go off. Our T92 is going in for a quick look-see. Can't see that Char. He's hiding behind one of the bushes. Up near the Zeppelin, the AE Phase 1's come out, but he's very badly damaged, and therefore he could be taken out with one shot. Clean Sweeper's going to go for it. Rounds out. Oh, he gets him! He wiped him out. So it's another kill. 3 kills now for Clean Sweeper Marksman. That 60 TP still there, but he can still kill him. We need somebody, though, to go up there and get the reset. Otherwise, we're going to lose by a cap. I think he's going to try and lay around in, see if he can splash him. Rounds out. Went long. Yes, we're getting low on cap time now. If the enemy were to get 2 in the cap, it will be over very, very quickly. Okay, the T10's up near the Zeppelin. Could take him out with a splash kill as well. Here we go. Last few seconds. We've reset the cap. Well, not reset it. We've stopped the cap. He fires in blind and he kills the T10. So he got a blind kill on the T10 now. That's 4 kills, but he has been seen. The Char Future 4's come down to try and kill us. And let's hope that our teammates are alive, because he has to move now. Enemy Arty knows where we are. The T92's going in for the reset. And Clean Sweeper's trying to get into cover so that the enemy Arty doesn't get a shot at us. It's now down to 3 on the enemy team, 3 on our team. They did get a reset. The T92 must have gone in, shot the Waffenträger, and reset him. And the Jagdtiger's now making his way over. It might be now time for Clean Sweeper to actually move to a new position. Preferably try and get a shot on that 60 TP. Because remember, he was a splash kill. Oh, he fired in and got reset on the Waffenträger. 16 cap points gone, and the 60 TP has suddenly been spotted. He's up near the Zeppelin still, and he's trying to shoot into the cap. Clean Sweeper was working on trying to find out where the Waffenträger was, because his teammates don't know precisely. But he guessed that he would be hiding behind the vehicles, and there we can see him now. Now, if he can put a round in there, he can kill the guy. Rounds out. Oh, he hit him. 226. He didn't get a pen, but he did stun him. And that means the T92's gone in. And the Waffenträger's in whole heaps of trouble now. Because he's being splattered by that T92. Every time he goes in there, the guy can't turn his turret fast enough to deal with the T92. And now it could be, if Clean Sweeper Marksman can get one on the Waffenträger, that would change the battle completely. And they do have a chance of winning this. He fires his round in. Oh, it hits the Rex. Now he's still got 2 rounds of armor piercing and 2 rounds of HE. He needs an HE round to kill the Waffenträger. Oh, the Waffenträger goes down to the T92. And that means now there's only the 60 TP left, and he's a splash kill. He only needs to put the round near him, and he's got the kill. Come on, you can do it, Clean Sweeper Marksman. Win the game for the team. Here, you can do it. Any second now. Wait for the guy to come into sight. Lines up the shots. Works it out. Rounds out. Yes! Kill shot. Wins the game. Wow. And there I was saying, wins the game. I forgot about the enemy Arty. The enemy Arty is the M53, M55 on the enemy team. He's still down the other end of the map. But he's all alone now, and there's a T92 looking for him with a 75mm gun. I was counting my chickens there. Okay, if the T92 finds him, and he might be in the corner. He might be just in that little cove there. And he is! Okay, line him up. And rounds out. Here we go. Oh, a big hit! 334. And the kill shot goes to the T92, which finishes off the game. What a great game that was. What a great game that was. Clean Sweeper Marksman completely turned it around. He got an ace tanker in his M53, M55. Not his first ace tanker. He's had them before because he didn't get the scrolls this time, so he must have had one before. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, which is 1/3 of the enemy team and 1 short of getting a top gun. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16 in total, and he got a Gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle in damage. And his win rate from that game was 6,244, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Jaeger on his team. 5,312 hit points of damage went to him. The second highest damage went to Clean Sweeper Marksman with 3,845, and the third highest damage in the game actually went to the A Phase 1 on the enemy team with 3,567, and he got a Confederate in that game. When it came to kills, it was Clean Sweeper Marksman. Yes, he got the highest number of kills with 5 in that game. The T92 managed to get 4 kills. 3 kills went to the 60 TP and the Char Future 4, who should have stayed behind to finish off Clean Sweeper Marksman. But by doing what he did, he actually basically gave Clean Sweeper Marksman a chance to take out the enemy. And he did. And oh, that changed the battle completely. When it came to base XP, it's the T92 did the best with 1,349, mainly because he was doing spotting. He actually managed to get 2,570 hit points for spotting from that game. And Clean Sweeper Marksman managed to get 1,149 base XP. And those are the only 2 players to get over 1,000. The next highest being the AMX M454, who got 970, but he was dead at the end of the game. It was only the T92 and Clean Sweepers M53, M55 who actually survived the battle. When it came to base XP, base XP, I did base XP. When it comes to the details, he fired 18 rounds, so he only had 2 rounds left, and if I recall, actually, both rounds he had left were armor piercing. So yes, he would have needed a direct hit on the enemy Arty in order to make those work. 8 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrations of them as well. And I suspect that one of those penetrations was that magnificent shot that he fired at the Heshbarn, which you can see down here. In fact, both penetrations were on the Heshbarn, so he must have hit the guy twice on the turret and finished him off with both the second round. So very well played on that one. He actually received 1 hit from the enemy. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the damage of 15 splashes on the enemy, 3,845 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit. It was from the Char Future 4. It did pen. But of course, he didn't follow it up, and that was his big mistake. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 986 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns, and he got 16 defense points when he reset the cap. 49,325 credits on the game, 40,000 for completing a mission, 89,325 altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he still made a profit of 23,800 credits. He got 25 bonds and 1,723 XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. Well, the M53, M55, it's quite an impressive Arty, and I have never actually seen one in person, but there's a really good video by the Chieftain. If you ever got to have a look at his videos on the Wargaming North America channel, I think I might have a link somewhere to watching or him go over the M53, because he actually went through a scrapyard where they had an M53, and we got to look at that vehicle, and yes, it's well worth having a good look over it. Here's the armor profile, and it's basically a pattern tank in reverse. You can see that the front of the vehicle is impacted armor is only 25.4 millimeters, and because it's rather slab-sided, you're only seeing about 27 in total, so very penetrable at the front. You can see the roof of the engine is 12.75, so it's basically to stop machine gun bullets. The cabin is also 12.7, so again, you're not going to stop anything except machine gun bullets. So anywhere you hit, which is weak armor, it's going to penetrate straight through. Even the sides in between, 12.75. The strongest armor is on the front and the lower plate there, which is coming out at 25.4, but with the angling it goes up to 65 because it's fairly well raked. You can see that there. So not much armor on this tank. It's actually to make it go faster. On the modules, you can see that the engine's up front. As I said, it's basically a pattern tank in reverse. We've got the transmission right at the front of the vehicle with the engine behind it. 2 fuel tanks, one either side of the engine. The driver is actually sitting in the front of the cabin at where the gunners would normally be, but you can see he's got a load of viewports as well. On the other side of the vehicle, we've got one of the gunners and another gunner on this side of the cabin. The tank commander's got his own cupola, and he's on the left-hand side of the cabin as we're looking at it. And there's 2 loaders behind, and you can see there's the other gunner. One handles elevation, the other one azimuth. And here we've got the 2 loaders, and it does need 2 loaders because it's 2-piece ammunition. So they've got to load the heavy shell, the 8-inch shell, and then they've got to load the powder charge afterwards, which is, I believe, was in tins. At least either that or it was bag charge. I think it was bag charge actually. So it's a bag of powder which they stuffed up the breech after they filled the shell, put the shell in, and rammed it up there with the pike or the pusher. And so once that was in place, they put the charge in, and you could only carry 10 rounds in the M55 as it was actually in operation. So the rest of the ammunition had to be carried around in trucks which would accompany the SPG. So yes, you can see that this is where the powder charge normally is, or normally there were racks of shells actually. I think that's, no, it's not where the powder shells were, that's where the racks of shells were, and I think the powder charges for elsewhere. But yes, it's fairly heavy on personnel in the cabin, and there's nobody up front in the actual hull. That's all engine or fuel. So if you want to get an ammo rack on one of these, you just aim for the back of the cabin and that should work. If you want to get a fire or engine damage, just aim for the main body of the tank. There's not enough armor to stop you from penetrating, so these things are very vulnerable. And that's why in the game, Clean Sweeper, when he got hit by that 105mm round from the Chieftain 4, it went straight through and did quite a bit of damage. He was lucky that he didn't follow it up, because the second shell would have put him out of the game. So there you are. That's the modules for the M55. I hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do let other people know that we're trying to give as much money as we can to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal. So the more of our videos they watch, the more money we can raise for them. And proof is available that we've sent the money on the What Noobs page and also on the What Arty Noobs page on Facebook. Thanks for watching.